Hello everyone, in this lecture I will be covering the basic approach to design a product using the guidelines of design for environment. These guidelines, if applied to product design and development process, enable manufacturing of component with minimum environmental impacts. Design for environment can be defined as a methodology of systematically reducing or eliminating the environmental impacts occurring during life cycle of a product. The product life cycle begins with extraction of raw material to manufacturing of a product to its useful life and finally its disposal. Design for environment enable establishing methods to minimize such impact so as to create products that are more sustainable to the society and environment. The objective of design for environment practice is to enhance product quality while reducing its environmental impact. Some example of environmental impact for manufacturing and using a product are excessive energy consumption, natural resources depletion, liquid discharge, gaseous emission, and solid waste generation. These impacts would be categorized according to the energy and material associated with the manufacturing process. Energy problem can be solved by developing products that consume not only less energy but also uses renewable form of energy. Material problems can be solved by selecting materials for product that can be recycled. DFM is performed throughout the product development process and requires a interdisciplinary team. These problems can be better solved by taking decision about energy and material during the early stages of the product development process. A product impact environment throughout its life cycle. A product has generally have two life cycles. The first one concerns with extraction and processing of the raw material from the natural resources, followed by the production, distribution, and use of product. At the end of product useful life, some materials can be recovered for recycling and reuse. Rest will be disposed through incineration or deposit in the form of landfills. The natural life cycle corresponds to the growth and decay of organic materials. The two life cycles intersect at the extraction of the natural resources and decomposition of organic materials back to the nature. The product industrial life cycles last from few months to few years, whereas the natural life cycle spans over a wider range of period. Most organic materials can decay very quickly and become nutrient for the growth of the similar raw materials. The natural materials such as minerals are produced on a much longer time scale. They are classified as non-renewable sources of materials or natural resources. Therefore, decomposition of waste from product based on minerals take up to thousands of years. From this life cycle diagram, it is advisable not to use non-renewable sources as they produce toxic and inorganic waste which have negative impact on humans and environment. The information presented in product life cycle discussed in previous slide give rise to three key challenges in the design and development of product. These are to eliminate use of non-renewable energy sources, eliminate disposal of synthetic and inorganic materials, eliminate creation of toxic waste. Addressing these challenges make a product environmentally sustainable. Now let us discuss some of the environmental impacts originated from the manufacturing of a product. These are global warming. The temperature of the earth is gradually increasing as a result of emission of greenhouse gases, particulates and water vapor. These effects appear to be severe with respect to emission of carbon dioxide, methane and chlorofluorocarbon, and nitrogen oxides, which are generated from industrial processes and product. Second impact is resource depletion. Raw material used for production such as iron ore, gas, oil and coal are non-renewable sources. As their supplies are limited, they are continuously depleting. Solid waste. Most product may generate solid waste throughout their life cycle. Some of this waste is recycled, but most of it is disposed to the environment in the form of air pollution and toxic ash. Water pollution. The common source of water pollution are discharge from industrial processes. This may contain heavy metals, fertilizers, solvent, oil, synthetic substances, acid and suspended solids. These pollutants may affect underground water, which is generally used for drinking purposes. Land degradation. Land degradation occurs due to extraction of raw materials during mining or deforestation. This results into reduced fertility, soil erosion, and increase in salinity of land and water. Biodiversity. Biodiversity is affected by land clearing for urban development, mining and other industrial activities. The last one is ozone depletion. Ozone layer is continuously getting degraded by reaction with nitric acid created by the burning of the fossil fuels and chlorine compounds emitted during industrial activities. Design for environment includes activities carried out throughout the product design and development process. The steps used to conduct DFME process are shown in this flow diagram. The flow diagram of the DFE or the design for improvement depict linear flow of information between successive steps. A product design and development team take decision in all these steps several times, making design for environment an iterative process. Now we will discuss briefly the step involved for performing design for environment. The first step in DFE includes setting the agenda of the process. This step consists of three sub-activities, namely identifying the internal and external drivers of DFE, setting the environmental goals for the product, and finally setting up the DFE team. Here the organization identify a clear path or strategy towards creating environmental friendly product design. DFE begins with discussion on the reasons or drivers. That is why the organization wishes to address the environmental performance of its product. There are many internal drivers or reasons for implementing DFE. First one is the internal drivers. First one is product quality. And environmental performance can raise the quality of the product in terms of its functionality, reality and repairability. Next one is the public image. Communicating to the customers an environmental friendly product can improve the company image. Next is cost reduction. Using less material and less energy in production can result in considerable cost saving. Innovation. DFE may lead to sustainable thinking and increase innovativeness of the design team as well. Operational safety. Applying DFE may also reduce or eliminate the use of toxic materials, thereby improving the occupational health and safety of its employee. Through DFE, employees can be motivated to contribute in new and creative ways to reduce the environmental effect of the company product and operation. Also, wider availability of product with positive environmental benefit may motivate customer for cleaner lifestyle and can increase the demand for greener product. External drivers of DFE include environmental regulations, customer preferences, and the environmental friendly features in product from the other competitors. Specific environmental goal may be set for every product during the planning phase. These goals allow the organization to become environmental friendly in long run. Some typical example of DFE goals are listed over here. These goals are arranged according to the life cycle stages of a product, starting from the raw material to production, to distribution, to use, and finally recovery and decomposition of the product raw material. These goals are primarily to shift towards the use of organic raw materials and renewable energy sources so that the impact of using a product on environment can be reduced or eliminated. DFE requires participation from all experts in product design and development process. The composition of DFE team depends upon the raw material, manufacturing practice, and application of the proposed product. Typically, a DFE team consists of team leader, an environmental expert, material expert, manufacturing engineer, and a representative from the purchasing and the supply chain organization. It also includes marketing professionals, outside consultants, suppliers, or any other expert as applicable to a specific product. The DFE team provide necessary tools and knowledge for making environmentally sound design decisions during product design and development process. These DFE considerations are taken into account right from the start of the product design process. Second step in DFE is to identify all potential environmental impact. Here, DFE team list or anticipate key environmental impact of product during its life cycle. Some standard questions are asked among the team members. This technique is used to identify potential environmental impact involved while developing and using a product. Some of these questions are presented here. These questions are related to the material, production, distribution, and usage of a product. Products such as automobiles, electronic devices, etc. cause major environmental impact during their usage, whereas products such as clothing, office furniture, etc. cause greater impact during material preparation, production, and recovery stages of their product life cycle. Next step is to select DFE guidelines. Some standard guidelines are there to help design team for making DFE decision even before getting environmental impact analysis report. These guidelines are based on environment impact of product identified in previous step. This table shows some compilation of DFE guidelines. For each stage of product life cycle, certain guidelines have been reported, which will be falling into certain categories. So this represents the life cycle stage. These represent the categories in which the guidelines will be falling, and these are the specific guidelines for each and every life cycle stage of a product. These guidelines provide design and development team some actions or measures that need to be taken to reduce the environmental impact of manufacturing and using a product. Many of these guidelines are related to the selection of renewable and non-renewable and non-hazardous materials and energy resources. These guidelines play an important role in the final selection of the material and manufacturing process for a product. Once the product architecture or final engineering specifications are established for a product, the DFE guidelines selected in previous steps are applied in the product design and development process. The final engineering specification enable selection of material, detailed geometry, and manufacturing processes associated with a product. It is therefore beneficial to apply the relevant design for environment guidelines with great precision. Applying DFE guidelines in this stage result into manufacturing of products having lower environmental impact. The DFE guidelines may also inspire product development team for improving the functionality and durability of the product. The next step is to assess the environmental impact of using the product over its entire life cycle. In order to accomplish this, a complete understanding is required about how the product is produced, distributed, and used over its lifetime, and finally recycled or disposed at the end of its useful life. This analysis is performed by utilizing the information available in bill of materials, available source of energy, individual component material specification, information from supplier, transportation system, waste stream, recycling method, and disposable means. Several quantitative life cycle assessment tools are available to perform an environmental assessment of a product. This is referred as LCA tools. LCA tools require a significant amount of time, training, and data for their effective utilization. Many LCA analyses compare alternative product design with respect to their environmental performance. Commercial LCA software are widely used in product design. They have some inbuilt library for common materials, production processes, energy generation processes, and possible waste disposable scenarios. Next step is to refine the product design to reduce or eliminate the environmental impacts. The objective of this step is to reduce or eliminate any significant environmental impact through redesign of existing product. It is an iterative process. The entire DFE process keep on repeating until the environmental impacts have been reduced to an acceptable level. The environmental performance of a product has to satisfy the earlier set DFE goals to complete the entire process. Redesign for any further improvement, environmental performance improvement, may also continue even after the product has been begun. This improvement will be considered in the next generation of the product which have been redesigned. The final step in design for environment is to reflect on the DFE process and result. In this step, entire process of DFE is documented and results are analyzed systematically. The validity for performing DFE process or improvement in the environmental performance of a product is judged by asking some standard questions. These are: how well did we executed the DFE process? How can our DFE process be improved? What DFE improvements can be made on derivative or future product from the company? If the result from the DFE process satisfactorily answer all these questions, the DFE process is assumed to be completed in its current stage. Any further improvement with respect to DFE is done in future generation of the product. If the answer to any of these questions is not given satisfactorily, the DFE process is repeated till all members of DFE team are satisfied with the current state of product with respect to environmental impacts. In the next lecture, we will discuss a case study in which design for improvement technique has been applied for redesigning an office chair. The objective of this case study is to reduce the environmental impact to as extent as possible. The environmental effects are associated with the material, production process, usage, recycling and disposal of the used office chair.